Look, it's a holiday, and for those that are either out of work because of it or are out of work because they need to hit up Indeed, the biggest streaming event of the year has ended, and we've got everything covered for you if you missed out.
On out, wait. Come on, man. Oh shit. Chat, no, it's for the war game. It's for the war game. Oh, no, wait, no. Oh. Oh, it's that one. Well.
So I have a lot of thoughts about Streamer University, and I'm going to go into a bunch of detail about it in this video, but I want to start off by saying I think that this was one of the most creative and innovative things that has been done surrounding streaming. I think streaming gets a bad rap all the time. You know, people think that IRL streaming is extremely lazy, desktop streaming is extremely lazy, but so when Kai Cenat came in, decided to do streaming at a university with a little bit of a different spin on it, it was very refreshing to see. It was IRL with a purpose, at least if you came into it with that kind of perspective. So it was refreshing to see these things. Now, did that mean it went off without a hitch? Absolutely not.
Now listen, if you are caught, if people know where you are at, you will be arrested for trespassing. We have cops here. This is ours for the amount of days we have. The amount of cops that are on lock from police you just see and undercover are all around. I have cameras all over campus, everywhere.
And hell, that was just at the beginning of Streamer University, because a lot of people wanted to be in touch with this. But I don't want to harp on the negatives in the beginning. Kai fired up this stream at the beginning where he showed off class, gave the orientation, you know, the first speech. Hood Mr. Beast came out and gave $10,000, and this was all broadcasted to 500,000 people live, which would mark Kai Cenat's third biggest stream ever. We were going to announce the professors, announce that everyone was leaving with a phone because T-Mobile sponsored the event, a Samsung Galaxy S25, and 1 year of free 5G service so people could do the IRL streams. And when I say it started off without a hitch, and the whole weekend honestly was a very, very positive experience as a whole. But I wish I could say that it was 100% positive, because there always will be these bad actors when it comes to doing things like this. One of the biggest issues and complaints from Streamer University this past weekend was the big streamer, small streamer relationships and how they were supposed to mingle and coexist with one another.
There's a lot of people that I thought would be approachable but aren't. So.
Exactly.
And it's not even that I'm not going out my way, because I am, and that's not even like me. I don't even be doing that. Like,
who's not approachable?
you have names in mind?
Oh, 100%. Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, I think that it's a shame that a lot of the small creators had this type of reaction or interaction with the big streamers or the other people on campus. And I don't necessarily think that it's the big creators' fault. I think that it's their expectations over anything. I think that people came into this with a notion that they were going to have just free range and free access to some of the biggest creators in the community. And I mean the biggest creators, and I mean free range and free access. But truly and genuinely, that's not how that works. Now, look, I'm not saying that these bigger streamers don't have to be, I don't know, just good people in general, which I wasn't there. I don't have the full-on experience, but that's not what they're saying in these videos. I personally believe that a lot of streamers came with some sort of notion or idea as to what was supposed to happen, and it did not happen. We've seen that happen at many sorts of events when it comes to content creators, whether it be DreamCon, whether it be, I don't know, MomoCon, whether it be any of the conventions, or even the situation of Streamer University. People go there with different sorts of ideas in their mind, preconceived notions, or whatever the case may be, and then are ultimately disappointed when their big streamer doesn't collaborate with them.
I expose everybody for ego and small streamers.
Oh yeah.
So everybody's getting mad at me like, what are you talking about, bro? No, I'm telling the truth.
Be a real
ego
nigga.
on niggas. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, nah, niggas is. I peep.
Niggas ego in niggas?
Yeah, bro.
They just leaving them out of shit, all types of shit.
For sure.
Bro, this shit not for big creators, bro. This shit for the small creators, bro. And the big creators still staying to each other, like, Nigga, when this shit over with, I can still clap with each other when this shit over with, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck with the small niggas, bro. Help them get their shit. Yeah.
I saw a lot of smaller streamers not go with any sort of plan or idea when it came to creating their content. I tapped into these people's broadcast or their VODs or whatever that were on Twitch, and I saw a lot of people holding their phone, recording other people while they make content. That to me is not what I would consider an attempt at content creation. And maybe your big brained idea is dancing or trying to jump into a kerfuffle mindlessly and hoping for your own viral moment, but I don't know why bigger streamers would be obligated to do those sorts of things. I think one of the biggest missteps that I saw from this weekend from a lot of the small streamers is that they just did not have things planned. I didn't see a lot of people take on different personas, have characters, you know, have a content plan and go out there and put it into place. I just saw people live streaming, IRL streaming, recording them walking around or recording the specific class that they're in. And I don't think that that's the best way to go about doing content. So you can't get mad when, I don't know, Duke Dennis doesn't want to jump into your TikTok trend. He's done 6 of them today. And that's not a real content plan. Now, I will say there are some small creators who did have legitimate gripes as to what the big streamers were doing.
I wanted to bring this to you because obviously this is very important, and the teachers are saying real shit, and I'm trying to learn. But it feels like the bigger creators, they're just trying to have a viral moment to where the teacher gets distracted. And I'm real life trying to learn.
And that is real because I saw a video of Agent's, you know, streams where he was giving out true game and he had to tell the audience or his onlookers or his class or whatever to be quiet several times. He was giving out real things that people, even the bigger streamers, needed to go and take back to their own camps and do their own things. But instead of doing what needed to be done, they were trying to get a clip off or they were trying to go viral. And there were small streamers doing the same thing too. So I do think that that is a legitimate gripe. But if people are complaining about, you know, they couldn't get their moment to create their TikTok with, I don't know, DDG or something like that, go back to the drawing board, big fella. Now, also because there are a bunch of younger individuals at a college campus, naturally there's going to be some sort of bullying going on. I don't think it's right, but it happened this past weekend. And I will honestly say kudos to the community for the way that it was treated because she was on the verge of dropping out of Streamer University.
Someone was being hateful. People came into my chat and then, you know, told me about it. And it's just, you know, did I let Kai know? Not him, no. I contacted our admissions panel. I said, I don't want anyone to get in trouble for this. I just think it's important for us to remind people, like, that we're all in the same position and that we need to treat people with kindness. That's what I told them.
And I think that's big because ultimately what happened to her takes away from the greater event that was going on from Streamer University. You know, somebody being rude, somebody being bullying while they're all there to attempt to become bigger, better, greater creators honestly does nothing for the conversation. But like I said, a bunch of the community did very well in wrapping their arms around this young woman and ultimately not just getting to the bottom of the situation, but helping her become a better person, content creator, streamer, and just showing her love and embrace.
A lot of people from her stream coming on my Instagram, TikTok, all that, saying I called her names and stuff like that. Now they're like coming at me. So I didn't know she was here or anything like that. So then went on Twitch, searched her name up, saw you were here. So I'm like, okay, let me go find her, try to clear things up, because I swear, I'm not even like that. I'm not messy or anything. So, you know, I just want to apologize. Thank you for apologizing too, but yeah.
Just being in front of a camera, like tough skin, you gotta like learn to like embrace the jokes about yourself or like just any negativity, because it's always gonna be negativity, it's always gonna be positivity, it's always gonna be like, it's never gonna be like a 50-50 balance. It's always gonna be negative niggas, it's gonna be positive niggas. You gotta have that thick skin for real.
Listen, I don't know. Listen, they think I'm musty, okay? So I'm telling you right now, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I know. You got this shit.
Oh, hi, evil twin.
What the hell? My evil twin is here? Kai.
Hi.
Hello.
What you doing? What's been going on?
So basically just like yesterday, just chilling out, streaming, desktop stream, getting used to everything. People come to my chat, say, this person is saying this and that about you. Specifically, they said like, oh, her hair is nappy.
Who?
I don't want to say
Hair? Who?
I don't want to say their name. Thank you so much for another gifted chat. Thank you so much. I hope I say your name right. Oh my god. Rage. I just like don't even know how to pronounce. Thank you so much for another 100 gifted. You guys are so sweet.
Not only was that one of the best things to come at it, but something that I alluded to earlier in the video is that Agent 00, another content creator that became a professor at Stream University, was literally one of the best classes, hell, the best class at Streamer University, because he was very open, honest, and transparent about what his life is like now as a streamer and how people can get to that level.
That also was included in the tax number. So it is just overall a pretty rough month. But even though that's the case, we absolutely crushed it. That's peak for me, by the way. That's peak. In the first 10 seconds of this, that means that the video is likely to perform bad, because if people leave early, less watch time. Watch time is king. This video is always, there's always gonna be some drops, but you see how it holds?
This is the unique thing about Streamer University. There's not too many places and spaces in which content creators really pour their heart out. I mean, literal screenshots from their own videos that will give you an insight as to what to do, what to look at, etc., etc. I think a lot of content creators figure out that their journey is them by themselves doing trial and error and trial and error and trial and error until they ultimately quit. Hell, that's life. They either quit, they succeed, but it's a bunch of trial and error by themselves. But what was happening at Streamer University, specifically through Agent's class, is that he was giving people the opportunity to learn from somebody who has a decade plus in the game with real life examples and real life screenshots. And then to top it all off, he then extended them brand opportunities for people who have never had brand deals, which would ultimately kickstart their careers in content creation by giving them some capital to back up everything.
They're willing to offer $5,000 to 3 different streamers to do their first ever brand deal, okay? So I mulled it over with the chat, and the decision was Esty, Coach, and Kai. Can you please come to the front of the class?
This overall was a major success. Do not get me wrong. As many negatives as we talked about, this was something that people should look at in order to replicate and do as much as possible. I mean, the opportunity to get real life experience from actual certified content creators that we all know and love, become the second most watched category on Twitch for the past couple of days. I'm talking about 23 million watch time hours. You know, brands offering Kai Cenat money like Tubi and Netflix and Amazon. Everybody having career ascensions. We saw that happening in the award ceremony where people's Twitch stats literally rose overnight because of Streamer University.
Danny Bands.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna try to do this without crying. First of all glory to God. This has been the best experience of my life. Everyone was so nice to me. Shout out to everybody here. You all deserve to be here. And I'm glad, I hope every single one of you got out of it what you're supposed to get out of it, and as much as you deserve to get out of it.
Danny went from 70 average viewers to 2,600 average viewers during this whole time and gained like 115,000 followers. That's amazing success. But it seems like there's always going to be bad apples in the bunch that are going to jeopardize this sort of production happening in the future. Last night at the end of Streamer University, some people got totally out of pocket. There was a few creators that thought clip farming was the meta to go, and I've been telling people about clip farming being bad on this channel for a very long time. So they decided to break into Agent 00's room, the best teacher on campus, and not only destroy stuff, but also steal from him.
Open the fucking door, nigga.
That's all you
You think I'm fucking playing, nigga?
What the fuck?
Where these niggas at? Where this J nigga at?
Whoa, what the fuck? Yo!
Y'all niggas think it's appropriate to come in my fucking room while I'm not there? It's a difference between content, nigga. Learn the fucking difference, bitch ass nigga. Get this nigga the fuck out of here.
Giving very Zoe Spencer vibes. Now, ultimately, they did resolve this, and Agent gave him one of the better life lessons yet again when it came to Streamer University.
There's lines, bro.
No, you're right. You're right.
You crossed the line.
You're right.
I feel violated.
No, you're right. You're right. And I'm sorry for that. You know what I'm saying? I was wrong.
I appreciate the apology.
Look,
look, bro.
And hopefully people go on with their lives and realize that there's levels to content creation that don't involve being some sort of nuisance. And I would also be remiss to mention that, you know, there was another incident that happened on the final night of Streamer University where a gang of students led by Rakai also started a drama, fight, war, whatever in the hallways that led to the injury of a young woman. Ultimately, police got involved, and it caused Kai Cenat to make some sort of announcement.
She got shot in her eye? You okay? What is it, water?
No, somebody shot me in the eye. Pee crying.
Okay, let's get you downstairs. Let's get you downstairs.
I shielded it from Kai too. I protected him.
Which Kai?
Kai Sinet.
He was here?
Yeah, he was on the floor. He was next to me when I got shot.
Oh wow! Oh my God! Well, what did he do? Nigga, one of the students got hit in the eye with an Ori, and she's claiming the last thing she saw was me, and she's telling police I'm the one. Everybody, if you are on campus, I had a spark lab on my phone. Relax. Everybody, clean. Everybody, cause somebody got hurt. So now I'm on my way to the hospital, and all I'm asking for y'all is to clean. Cause everybody y'all not being considerate.
And there's a whole video after this weekend to make about Rakai himself and nuisance streaming and taking it too far and all this other stuff. Some of the stuff that people have been signaling for a very long time, but we'll save that for another day. But this is the stuff right here that causes Kai Cenat to not be able to do this stuff anymore. Something that he alluded to in part of his streams is that he's not going to be doing Streamer University ever again because of stuff like this. Now, he might have taken it that way in the moment, but I don't think that that young woman was saying the last thing that she saw was Kai Cenat being the fact that he caused this in some way, shape, form, or fashion. What he's literally saying is, I saw Kai Cenat. Like, Kai Cenat was literally next to her, and when the Orby hit her in the eye, the last thing she could see out of her other good eye was Kai Cenat. But the way that the narrative is going to get spun, etc., that's what happens. But this is why this isn't open to any and everybody. Content creators and non-content creators don't mix for this specific reason, because content creators know what the boundaries and the limits are, while non-content creators, you know, get lost in the sauce and take things too far with people that they ultimately don't know. I think the way that it was handled by Agent, along with the other situation where the young woman was bullied, any of these situations that happened was ultimately good, but this is the problem with IRL streaming stuff. This is not content. At the end of the day, I don't want that to mar what happened from the whole Streamer University experience. Of course, there were going to be some people who didn't get out of it what they wanted to because they thought that this was going to be their come up or their get out of the hood free card, or they were just going to have a bad experience. There were also going to be people that took advantage of it and disrupted the natural order of the place and space and be bad faith actors. That's always going to happen. But there were so many people that came out of this experience better than when they came in. They have a true kickstart and they have guidance, which a lot of content creators don't have usually when they do content creation as a journey, and they will be able to be better content creators. Are all of them gonna stick? Of course not. But are some of them going to make it and be better the next year and the next year and the next year? Absolutely. I hope in the future people are able to put on things like this for YouTube, for TikTok, for Twitch, for Kick, whatever the case may be, so we can all become better content creators. Because if the ecosystem is thriving, then it benefits everyone. Not only from the perspective of getting the entertainment, but also from the perspective of the creators getting paid. It's a scratch your back, scratch mine situation, and I absolutely loved it.